But here's something that's going to shock you. We also learn from the Mormons. And you say, what? What are you learning from the Mormons? The Mormons, between circa 1855 and 1995, laid out 534 towns and cities in the West without any money, most of which survive to this day, and they're not ghost towns. The Mormons are the Henry Ford of urbanism. Okay?
Really?
Like Brigham Young is the Henry Ford of urbanism. I mean, no one has built 530 towns like he did. And there's a protocol, there's a methodology. And we, in the pursuit of large numbers, which I spoke about earlier, I'm fascinated by large numbers. As soon as I heard that Brigham Young had laid out 530, by the way, they were rather interested. All their interesting literature is town planning. Forget the theology. I mean, that's weird stuff. But the town planning is fabulous. Now, they were not professionals. So you have to interpret what they did and try to understand why they did it. What were they doing? Why was the Mormon block so large? Why were the streets so wide, et cetera, et cetera? So all I needed to know is that he had laid out 530 plus towns and cities. And I said, I'm studying that. And my office and a fellow called Matt Lambert, who's my partner now, went into a deep dive of Mormon town planning, to the extent that I actually I've lectured on Mormon town planning to the Mormon bishops in Salt Lake City, reminding them about what their incredible legacy. And so it's all protocol. The interesting thing about the Mormons is the protocol by which they assembled. And everybody says, well, they were all white, like, oh, something's wrong with the Mormons, they're all white. Well, they may have been all white, but they were incredibly diverse, okay? Incredibly diverse. Brigham Young made sure that whenever a Mormon settlement was laid out, first of all, he did hydrological studies to make sure there was water. Then he did soil studies to make sure there was fertile ground. And then he actually laid out the Mormon block, which everybody says it's a standard dimension. It's not a standard dimension. It actually was adjusted to the fertility of the ground because he wanted people to be self-sufficient in their farms. And then he had a sequence of what you had to build by the first spring, by the third spring, and by the 10th spring. So you actually build a mud hut, then a wooden building, then a brick compound. Okay. And he also assembled he had the ability to do what's called a call. He assembled a call, and he would make sure that there were enough men, women, literate people who would be school teachers, old women, young women, and men, farmers, people who knew how to make a barrel, would make a keg for exportation, people who knew how to fire a gun for defense. So he would assemble the society to be utterly diverse. And that was the source of the success. So I look at this stuff and I say, okay, I know it's not 1895, but damn, that was clear thinking. And so what we do is we design the plug. That's a very, very effective appliance. The Mormon town, called the Mormon state. It's a very effective appliance, which everybody ignores in academia because it's Mormons, and they're whatever, like there's a million things wrong with them, including their underwear. Right. Oh, come on, like, please, and they wouldn't even look at it.